Welcome to a new video with our home in the forest. I am Caroline and I'm living with my husband Misha and our two little children in central Portugal. Today's video is about preserving herbs. Let me tell you, I am not the source for cooking videos. Please, this should be your inspiration to have ideas what to do with herbs and to kind of follow me along as I do that, how I did that. I am not in time to post this. Probably your herbs are all already gone to seed. So let this be your inspiration for next year. I am not good in filming all my steps. I always notice afterwards, maybe this is getting better over time, but there are way better channels for cooking videos, for preservation, for recipes. Go there. Otherwise, if this is interesting to you to see my homesteading, my farm life, join me. Subscribe if you want, or watch the entire video and see if you like it. One that I really enjoy and use as inspiration is the farming chefs. They're also near here in Portugal, in central Portugal, if I'm not wrong. But they will be a good cooking inspiration for you. Even if you only have a couple of herbs in your windowsill or in your backyard, usually if they are in good condition, they freak out. You will have plenty, isn't it? So there are a couple of ways you can preserve them, because you might want to enjoy the taste over winter. You don't want to let them go to waste because eating them fresh is, well, sometimes really hard to do. They are like reproducing quickly. So I enjoyed different ways of preservation. We can dry them. I think that's the most common thing. You can just chop them up and freeze them and submerge them in some sort of liquid. Probably alcohol. I didn't do that. You can like do a syrup, or I have a distiller, so there are a few herbs. Probably you can do that with a lot of herbs to extract the essential oils. I am only using rosemary and eucalyptus for now. I have a big distiller and I'm distilling the essential oils, the hydrosol. I'm not extracting the actual oil. I use the hydrosol. That's perfectly fine. If you're interested in that, there are already videos that I did about the distilling process in detail. Hop over there. I will show you a couple of ways how I preserved the herbs that we have in our garden. Let's start with a pesto because I have plenty of basil in our vegetable garden. It's kind of taking over a part of the garden. And I will also show you how to harvest it best to ensure regrowth. After that, I show you what was this bird, and it was catching a fish. After that, I will show you what I did with my dried herbs, and we will see my new favorite drink that features an herb syrup and my accidental apple cider vinegar. Enjoy the video.
The basil field. So I'm usually snapping off the tips with the flowers and with the seed pods. You see what's happening to the ones that you let go to seed is they are not putting any energy anymore in producing leaves. The other ones are much more leafy and open leaves, and these ones have already very tiny shrinking leaves. So I have a few plants there on the side that are going to seed. The bees love them, and the rest we will harvest. And I think we are making pesto. Got myself a big bucket. Wait, and we need scissors. I will not use my pruning equipment because it's just for thin, we're not here, for the thin herbs. Ah, here. Normal kitchen scissors will do. You can extend your harvest of any leafy green, but especially let's take the example of basil. So I cut them down now really drastically, but here you see how you could harvest. You could always harvest at the next point. You would cut it here and your basil would sprout again from these points out. This is how it becomes really bushy. You see, I have been harvesting in the past from this part, and it has been shooting out here. Then I have been harvesting here, and it has been shooting out here. So you kind of tell the plant where to produce the next branches, a little bit like with pruning trees, isn't it? Now I've been cutting back this one. I leave it a bit. Maybe they want to come back with fresh basil, but I will cut everything back besides the ones that have already a lot of seeds, as in these ones. I am not too concerned to cut off too much. In spring I take more care that I really leave enough to regrow. Or however, Lev wanted to go to the beach after. Yeah. I got my dry ingredients. Let's measure them. It's like 1 to 1.
What is the things to kill the flies, the electric one?
Yeah. I'm just coming back from the entrance of our property. There grows this mint sage, and I will use that for our tea mixture. And that's how I cut any plant that I want to massively cut back without harming its growth or harming its existence, really. Look, here is, I'm not sure about this one, right? There's no leaves. Here's a leaf, and here are leaves. So I'm better cutting it back here to make sure these ones are still alive. And here's leaves, so I'm cutting it back to the last little leaves. Here in this one, I only have sprouts up here. That's already quite large, but I have also down here, so I cut it here. Same here. I see their leaves at the very bottom. I cut it just on top of these leaves. Guys, it has approximately 400 degrees in Portugal. Almost 40. It is very hot, very dry. A lot of fires around, but we keep ourselves busy. And today we are doing my tea mixture, or like we continue my tea mixture. I have two bases, one based on mint and one based on lemon mint. What's that? In Portuguese it's cidreira. And so I will do a cough, cold, influenza mixture, like against it, and one calming, soothing tea mixture. So this one with the lemon mint has already also fennel and raspberry leaves. I don't want to make too many components, but also I want to keep it interesting. The mint one has mint, lamb's ear against infection. It's already dried. I am putting it now in jars because it was outside and I want it to be a bit more cleanly stored. But I will eventually add a few more things. I will make my first mixture and then probably will do my first tea and see how it tastes and then go along to make more. I will also want to add sage into my health mixture. I also have some dried elderflowers, so I need to see if that is interesting to me to add. But I will probably experiment with that before I put it into the mixture to see if it's worth, because I don't have so many. And you see, like everything is so dry. Just crushing it with my hands. So now is the time to harvest my herbs for two reasons. They are slowly dying and producing seed. And it is so hot that we can air dry them. Here in Portugal, I will probably have herbs to use fresh all year round. But if I want to have like a ready-made mixture on hand, then this is the best way. More lamb's ear for my health mixture. I think I get some more later on. And raspberry leaves for my calming mixture. The raspberry leaves. My mint tea gets the sage. So here I'm really thinking about what is health beneficial that I know of. Like we used last winter a lot this lamb's ear, and I just picked it fresh. You're probably reaching now the time that your herbs do go into seed. No matter what you're doing, no matter how much water you're giving, no matter how well you're harvesting them. And you can probably not use as much, well, depending on the herb, right? Basil maybe you use for a pesto, but generally you have an abundance and you don't know what to do with it. Just dry it, hang it up on a little thread. It's still warm enough to naturally dry. That's a very, very good solution right now. Of course, if you have place in your freezer, freeze it, but otherwise dry it, and then you can still decide what to do with it. Like me, I'm having it hanging there and I'm not sure, is it tea, is it for food, is it for salt? And then you can still use it as you wish if you have it dry. Do I even have to say it? Excuse the mess. That's life. That's my dried thyme. And that's my tea mixture with, well, it's supposed to be good against cough and all kinds of flu symptoms. I will preserve some more herbs, and thyme it is this time. I am constantly drying some herbs, and I also have some dried thyme already here. But this time I think I won't do a dried version. It just grew back so quickly after the last harvest that I take it again and make a syrup. It's supposed to be really good for cough, against cough. Cutting back your herbs regularly is a really good method to also ensure its growth. So now, like with anything we are cutting back, I see that there are some leaves left on the bottom to make sure it has there something to grow back and not just dry out. I do the exact same with my rosemary, for example. It's just out of hand. The rosemary is out of hand, so that's why also I try to keep this at bay as long as possible. Just, if you didn't want to do too much effort with it, you could just dry it and then straight use it for cooking. So the recipe said to blanch them. I guess that also counts as washing. So the recipe said to blanch it for 30 seconds to get the bitterness out. So, ooh, it smells amazing. You can probably use this as a tea already. So I'm not sure if this is necessary, but that's what this recipe said. I actually read the recipes again. There are different versions how to do this. And tried the blanching water, and there was no bitterness at all. So I decided to steep. There were some recipes saying to have a tea of 2-3 minutes and others to boil it for 30 minutes. So I think I just steep the hot water, let it cool down a little bit, take out the herbs, and then boil my syrup. That's how I do it with mint, at least. So I'm doing my own version. Bear with me. Smell this. I'm making
Thyme?
thyme syrup. It's for cough, for us and for the kids.
It's good.
Exactly. We add the sugar and bring it to a boil.
Wait, is the next week, right?
Yeah, it's not now. I brought it to a boil and now I turn it off. And we are adding the lemon juice.
I brought you some pots from there.
Yeah, you told me.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it until here, don't forget to subscribe and tell me what's your favorite way to use the herbs from your garden if you have a garden. And see you all next week. Bye.